Welcome back to another review here on the channel. If you missed my last review, that was for another live-action adaptation of a beloved animated series, Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you'd like to check that out, it will be linked here with the video. Today, I'm reviewing Parasite the Grey, a live-action adaptation of the anime Parasyte the Maxim, which was released in 2014 and the manga released in 1989. Respectively. If you have not seen my reaction to the two trailers that were released before I watched the series, and would like to see if my opinion changed at all, then they will be linked here with the video as well. Parasite the Grey is not Parasyte the Maxim. Parasite the Grey was, however, way better than I had anticipated. Parasite the Maxim is in my top 3 favorite anime, so I was a little apprehensive, but open-minded. I set expectations low, being it was an anime live action, which doesn't always translate well. But I had hope, since the director of Train to Busan, Yeon Sang-ho, was at the helm. Anyone on the fence about watching Parasite the Grey, I will break things down whether it's worth your time, or any long-standing fans of the anime or manga that are weary of watching. I will say this: you will get a pleasant surprise, but I'll get to that in a few moments. Now, let's slither our way into the brain of this review. Warning: there will be spoilers, but not all of them. Parasite the Grey is an adaptation of the story, but set in Korea, not Japan. These events are taking place at the exact same time that we see the events unfold with Shinichi and Migi in Parasite the Maxim. I wish more adaptations would follow this suit because it allows for more creative liberties and it keeps the original work intact. Fans need not worry about something they love being tarnished. The premise remains the same as the OG. Little squishy balls fall from the sky with cute little brain-eating creatures in them. Yippee! Once the balls drop, the creatures inside them have to find a host quickly, or they will die. They try to find entry through ear canals leading to the brain, which they then consume and then assume the role of the body they're in. A brief stage of gaining control over mobility ensues, and I say brief because these little buggers adapt fast. I love the opening being at an EDM fest as well, because that is totally a place where you might think you're tripping if you've seen tentacles sprout from someone's head and start chopping things up. But if you make it to tomorrow, you'll realize that that nightmare is reality. The star of the show, Soo-in, is introduced as a supermarket cashier who has to deal with an unruly customer. This is where a little homage is paid to the OG series. The customer has headphones on, which he is ignoring everyone, until he reluctantly takes off the headphones, which is when Soo-in makes him angry. In Parasite the Maxim, we see Shinichi lucky that he had those headphones on. The customer makes a death threat towards everyone in the store, which he then proceeds to attempt as he follows our leading lady after work. As she's clinging to life, so too was our little friend Heidi, who is aptly named a little bit later in the series. Out of desperation, Heidi jumps into Soo-in's body, healing her and all of her injuries, and saving both of their lives. Although not the goal, as Heidi the Parasite is only about self-preservation. Unable to consume the brain, with this new lease on life, they now both have to learn to work together in order to survive. Yes, we've seen similar tropes before, like Venom or Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But this is a different slice of that pie. We soon learn of Suin's sad childhood, being beaten and suffering broken bones at the hands of her own father when she was just 10 years old. These introspections give us a closeness and a connection to her character. At this point, we start to see more parasitic humans, emotionless entities with an eerie presence. They start locating one another to form a religious cult, with a calling card and flyers for their gathering, with interest in learning human tendencies like when to smile or laugh so they can blend in and take over. All whilst being hunted by the police with a special unit named the Grey. Now, the Grey has two meanings in the show. This is the first, I'll reveal the second soon. The Grey unit is led by Captain Choi. She also has a traumatic past, being that her husband was one of the first to become a parasite. So she's out for bloody vengeance. Hellbent and fearless, she is determined to eradicate every last parasite. She does develop quite a nice character arc over the 6 episodes, however. By the end of this episode, our leading lady becomes aware of her own parasite. Heidi informs her host that she can only take over control for 15 minutes, give or take, per day, choosing only to do so during life-threatening situations. Yes, that was only the first episode, and I didn't even tell you everything. Sound like a lot? Well, I will say for this show only having 6 episodes compared to the anime, which had 24, the amount of character detail and story they were able to fit in, the pacing was great. Introducing our co-main, Kang-woo. On the surface, he's an odd job guy, looking to make a quick buck even through gang affiliation. Kang-woo appears to only care about himself and surviving. Sound familiar? While Kang-woo is away from home, his older sis becomes a parasite, and his younger sister disappears. That's when we come to see he cares much more about his friends' and family's life, even more so than his own, as he displays the biggest balls I've ever seen. No, he doesn't drop his trousers, although I almost had to change mine, as he exudes balls of steel. I was literally gripping the edge of my seat, like, don't do it, don't do that, no, don't do that. But he did it, and I was pretty amazed with his bravery. Now, Kang-woo also takes part in a really great foot chase scene, where the cameraman is following behind him, and it creates this shaky POV, and I thought that was really cool because it reminded me of the Rush Hour movies. And his character also displays a lot of great growth over the series as well, when his vested interest changes over the course of the show. There is a captivating moment in the show where we get to spend some time inside the mind of Suin, and due to her brain not being consumed by a parasite, where the parasites would normally reside inside their heads, her existence is still plagued by memories of her traumatic past. During the time she's being viewed as a monster currently due to her parasite, we enter an avatar-like state to take a walk through her past, discovering she was also viewed as a monster whilst being a child for reporting her dad to the police, which makes you wonder about the dichotomous thinking in the psychology of the individuals in her own community who could view the abused as the monster, but not the abuser. During this trip down memory lane, Heidi is trying to gain a better understanding for why Soo-in is the way she is. Soo-in's traumatic past has led her to become numb to the idea of trust. She's blinded by the feeling that nobody loves her. So she's never been able to see those who are trying to help. This introspect of human psychology is befitted by excellent visual effects, seeing the dissipation of memories fading away into little particles. Both an important moment for Soo-in as well as Heidi. Parasitethegrey has very staunch, compelling dialogue, eye-opening questions of who are the real monsters, who are the real parasites. This is where the second meaning of the gray comes into play. Characters, decisions, and outlooks all operate in this gray area. You might have a certain propensity to see things as good versus evil, given there's such a basic motive, but everything is not as black and white as you may think. Parasites state that they're only trying to survive. Yet humans parasitize with organizations by doing things they don't need to survive, sacrificing their own and labeling it as loyalty. But the only ones who are remembered are the leaders of these organizations. The setting of the final fight scene with this dialogue is a spectacular climax for a carefully crafted series. So, what is the Parasite's goal? According to the Church of Parasites, survival. They only eliminate humans if necessary for survival, which includes stealing their bodies. We don't know much about the parasites because they don't know much about themselves either. They don't even know where they came from. And that can also be said for humans as well, because a lot of times we don't really know much about ourselves, and when we're born, we don't know where we come from either. Our parents have to tell us about the birds and the bees, or you learn about it in school in some format. You see where the lines get blurred a little bit? Overall, Parasitethegrey is a good sci-fi horror series. Even if you're not invested in the story, there's still enjoyable carnage with an engaging premise. The CGI was actually pretty top-notch. I was a little worrisome beforehand, but they nailed it. Fight scenes were very believable. With the given variables, action sequences were clean and accurate. With all the head flailing the actors did, hopefully they received good treatment afterwards. I know when I go to hardcore shows and I'm headbanging, I'm gonna need a neck brace afterwards and an ice pack and a good chiropractor. So hopefully they received some form of treatment. They probably needed neck pillows in between each scene. The series itself displays that there is a hierarchy, but what happens when we're stronger together? For fans of the original Parasite, I stated while reacting to the trailers of The Grey that they needed to have a certain character make even a slight appearance. I shouted in celebration when I witnessed the reveal. If you watch, you will be rewarded in the end with, click away now if you don't want this spoiler, Shinichi and Migi. I was celebrating. My jaw dropped. I was like, yes, Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I missed him. That's my boy. The dynamic duo makes an appearance. However brief, it shows promise for a second season, and I'm thrilled about that. If the show receives the audience and the attention that it deserves for the love that they put into the series, we will get a season 2. And this show is that good that I think it needs a season 2, especially with that reveal, because you can't leave us on a cliffhanger. There's too many shows that do that and they get canceled. And it breaks my heart every time. It makes me sad, and I think about it for years. And if that happens with this, I won't forgive you, Netflix. Seriously, hats off to everybody involved in this project. The actors and actresses did a phenomenal job. And shout out to the special effects team. They did great as well. I genuinely love the series, and I recommend it wholeheartedly to anyone who has even a slight interest in checking it out. And if you're a fan of the original anime or manga, I think you'll enjoy this as well. Especially the little surprise. Yet another excellent South Korean product. And you know, we love our K-pop here on the channel. They have K-pop, K-dramas. I mean, everything they do just seems to be excellent. Their movies. If you've seen the other Parasite out of Korea, the one with the I, not the Y, fantastic movie. But this right here, this is how you should do anime live action. I give Parasitethegrey an 8.5 out of 10. Remember, sometimes it's okay to accept a hand when it's extended to you, even if it's a tentacle.